All right, buddy. So go ahead and tell the people your name and where you're from for those that do not know.
I'm from Southern California. Um, to be honest, I got to tell you, I'm from Compton and South Central,
Uh-huh.
Los Angeles, what most people consider the West Coast. By turn, my name is Spotted Loc, the most Easty, aka No Brain, the Bangadocious One, VJ Keyway, Bay Machiavelli, a few of my monikers.
That's what's up, man. And look, I never in a million years thought I'd have you on the show, man. As the channel grows, I'm meeting new people, man, and it's wild, man.
And I appreciate being here, man.
Hey, I
Channel
appreciate
crack.
you too, man. For sure.
You take a very professional approach to a
Yeah,
real
thank you.
grimy, wide open situation that could just be, if you're going to speak on this subject, if you had to assume what it was going to be like before you went to the channel, you would assume a lot of different things other than what you find. So I salute
Hey, salute to you as well, my friend.
you.
And look, like I was telling you beforehand, and I'll tell the people as well. I love the rap culture. I love rap music. I love gangster rap. But as far as the drama side of things and how they grew up and who they were assigned to and all that stuff, I don't really dive into. I just listen to the music and enjoy it. So I really don't know too much of your story, man. If you can, man, just go ahead and break it down. You said you grew up in Compton, correct?
Yeah, I grew up in Compton. I'm not from Compton Crip though.
Okay.
Grew up, I grew up in a single parent home. My father didn't live in my house. However, I did know my daddy my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So going back and forth from my mother's house to my father's house in between Compton and South Central, I just came very familiar with two different sections that are not more than a 10, 15-minute drive apart. Now, my actual affiliation in the streets is in South Central, my daddy neighborhood. I'm from East Coast. But
Okay.
if you want to ask me where I'm from, like origin, just where I'm from without no type of affiliation, I'm from Compton. I was born in the city of Compton. On my birth certificate, it says city of Compton, which not too many people can say that, just for the simple fact that there hasn't been a hospital in Compton since like the year after I was born. So
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
yeah, the people can actually say they were born in Compton. It's like it's a very rare breed of us these days.
Yeah. I wonder why
Yeah.
that is. Why they shut down all the hospitals out there?
There was only one.
Uh-huh.
Compton's not, see, I go like
Is it a
this.
small area?
Yeah, the name is a lot bigger than the actual geographic
Okay.
of Compton. It's a small town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I understand now. Well, tell me, man, was it kind of your Crip? Were you before we get into the prison side of things? This is just for my own
Yeah.
knowing. It's interesting to me to see how people get into this whole thing. Some people do it because it was kind of just that's in their hood, or they were kind of born into it and stuff like that. I mean, what made you take this route, man?
Well, if I think back as far as I can as to when gangbanging came on my radar, I remember being a child young enough to where, and I can't put a number on it, but we was kids. And none of us was gang affiliated. And I can't even remember at that time if any of us even really knew anybody that was really gang banging. But I remember me and my cousin used to ask each other, you cuz of blood. If you cuz, I mean you cool. If you blood, you bleed. And that was the politics, that was the science test. And we was like, it's something we knew we weren't supposed to say in front of our parents. And it was like, you cuz of blood, you cuz of blood. So that's the earliest I can remember having any type of inclination of a Crip or a blood existing. And I can explain to you why it was intriguing from the jump.
Yeah.
And then, just like I say, growing up from in between Compton and South Central, you just exposed to the aspects of it so much. It's like it's almost a natural thing to become involved. Not saying that everybody does it,
Yeah.
because there are some that do escape actually being involved for whatever reasons. I salute. Some of my very best friends from the environment are those that didn't actually participate in the gangbanging. I developed a certain admiration for them because I saw them presented with the pressure to get down. and then not to succumb and not go nowhere and stand there and still maintain relationships. And now later in life, they're a person that everybody can still respect. I salute that type of energy. So yeah, so it's just I don't have a scientific reason as why I chose to like participate. It was just the whole aura of it was always intriguing to me.
Yeah, and it was just part of your environment for the most part. I
Yeah,
mean, you
everywhere you
put
look.
you put a damn Pizza Hut right across from my street. I'm gonna go buy some pizza sooner or later.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
And it was just, it was, you know, I was my mother's only son. I don't know, perhaps indirectly camaraderie. It was something about belonging,
Mm-hmm.
to, and just the whole idea of having extended members of something that's, initially what I thought all pledged and believed in something to the same degree, same extent, and being down for it. Not trying to make anything sound like it had any virtue to it. Any attachment I maintain to these days, I try to add some virtue to it, but it was like just I was always being mischievous prior to even gang activity.
Yeah.
Just, I was always a bad boy. Like,
Yeah.
even placed in the most nurturing environments, it seemed like I always just end up finding myself being reprimanded in the principal office. And it was, it was just always, I don't know, just always with the mischief.
Yeah, I like to call them the free spirits. I was one as well, man.
Yeah,
You
there
know,
we go. There we go.
we
There we
don't
go.
really, we don't like, we just kind of do our own thing, man.
Yeah,
We move on
young,
what we feel.
money in your pocket is still gonna steal some bubble gum. Like, I don't, it's just something I'm gonna do. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's a great way to explain it, man. And ladies and gentlemen, bear with me. I'm still getting over this cold, so if I cough, I apologize. But well, let me ask you this, man. Before we get into the prison, this is one question I ask a lot of people that's in the mix. When it comes to California and the East Coast, some things can vary when it comes to gang banging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One main, one main question I want to ask you before we get into the prison scene is white Crips, man. Let's get that out the way. How do you feel about white Crips? Is this really prevalent in the streets of California? I know it's not in prison so much, but how does that looked upon?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, when I keep when I discuss any issue in the public, I try to keep my feelings out of it, because I feel like feelings are personal. Everybody's entitled to their own feelings, and it clouds communication and progress. So I try to stick to the facts. So I'm not gonna speak on how I personally feel about anything, but the fact of the matter is that the cripping, the inductee process is like limitless. Like, it's no need to segregate whites, because as soon as you say whites, name anything else, anybody else, they can come in too.
Exactly.
So whites included. And once you're in officially, it's based on how you gonna stand, because it's a walk. You in the pen and you a white boy and you cripping. Your cripping finna be tested harder than the average cripping, because the white boys is not just finna accept you being a crip off top. Your people gonna holler at you. And I've seen a lot of white boys try to crip, and this, I ain't gonna say I've seen a lot. I've seen it happen to where you come in a white boy, come in cripping, and you leave with your peoples. I seen it happen to the Woods, yeah. I seen it happen to the Usos too, the Samoans. I done seen niggas come into the prison system, cripping the blood and Samoan, and then before their beard is over, they gangbang tattoos, got tribal tattoos over them, and they function with the Usos, and they not gang affiliated no more. So I've seen the same thing with Mexican Crips. I had a homie who I'm talking about, looked like he weighed about 120 soaking wet, from the county jail to the pen. He from four corner block. That's a Crip gang. And he chunked him one time on the yard at Evernow. I watched his back. He got down, but before he actually took a fade, it was a whole lot of pressing and politicking and kites getting sent, and wasn't a lot of Crips at that point in the county jail really eager to jump on his side. I just so happened to know his baby mama from growing up, And when I knew he was on the other side of the row, I got him pulled in my unit, and God blessed us to the point where I was with him. We went from the county jail all the way to Avenal together. So as the politics was coming his way, I was always able to come stand with him in politics and make sure he got the fairest shake he could get, and didn't nobody do low him or nothing. And he was with it, you know what I'm saying? So it go either way. Same thing for the white boy. If you ain't scared and you ain't gonna mark out, niggas just gonna ride with you. But the woods is gonna holler. They gonna try to get at you like, what you doing, where you come from. And it could go either way. But sometimes, because of what you up against, when you're a white boy in this type of shit, the white boys and niggas like that be the hardest ones, the wildest ones.
Yeah. That's why I hear, man, they're trying to go. You know what I mean? They already know what's ahead of them. Most part, they know what's ahead of them. So that gives them heart right there. Just knowing that they're about to be put in the fire.
And just think, typically when you're a white boy coming to that situation, a lot of times before it was gangs, I was in a poverty environment with a lot of blacks anyway. So
yeah,
all the bullying shit been over with when they was trying it in junior high school and they seen our fight. I learned a long time ago. And this was even going to a private school in junior high school and elementary. In junior high school, white boys fight harder than you look at the USC, my nigga. Like, it's a misconception. White boys ain't got those problems where they not finna fight, or they punks, or they marks.
Yeah. See,
they some of the very first fight a white boy ever had, he'll still fight so hard he'll kick your ass. He ain't never had a fight before.
Yeah.
When they go, they just go.
Yeah, man. And that's what I think it is. I think it's the fear. When someone ain't fought before, and typically these individuals ain't in the hood, and they don't see fights so much as, let's say, you're in the projects. Fighting can be a regular thing, or just slap boxing is common,
Right.
And these guys, they play video games or something the whole life. Yeah, I mean, they know the concept, but they ain't really been in it. But once they get in it, then they get used to it, and then they're really banging out. You know what I mean? So I think it's really just like a fear thing, man. And once you get pushed against
and
the
that
wall,
fear can win sometime. And if you got, like when you get inside the gang culture, there's no real structure to where you can file an appeal or write into your congressman. So if you got a group of motherfuckers who just guaranteed it ain't gonna go right for you, it's just not gonna go right for you. If they the right niggas in the hood, it's just not. If that's how we feel. I got a very close friend of mine, and he grew up in South Central. If you see him, you would never think this, but he grew up in South Central. He moved to Riverside. He turned to Crip gang in Riverside, fully affiliated, banged out, French braids, all that. Pure white boy. Certain motherfucker came home from the pen that had enough weight in the hood that it didn't sit right with him. And he politicked him up out his whole little affiliation and dogged him, had the crowd dog. Niggas who was just kicking it with him for the longest with him, going half with him, doing whatever with him. This one nigga come home and that everybody willing to jump on you right here. That's the environment you done invited yourself in, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
you gotta be, you gotta be prepared for that shit,
Yeah.
And I tell people that. I've seen people, man, they were just as good as anyone else in the mix, and then one guy come in the block, and next thing you know, they're all jumping on him, and I'm like, shit, what happened?
Like I told you earlier, me living in Compton and South Central being my affiliation, when I first jumped off the porch and really got active in my situation, I can remember times where I'm a young nigga on the block. My energy is like so turned up that I've been around 8 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years. Somebody pop up who has been around 10, 15 years before, prior to me, who hasn't been around the last 6 months, pops up. And because I'm just familiar with the culture to the extent that I know where you been, cuz why you ain't came to the hood is part of it. I didn't watch this dude, lifelong friends, follow my lead and tripping on him because they ain't seen him in a couple of months. And and then I realized later on down the line, as I see cycles of homies go around, that this scenario play out. But when I'm fresh in it, I'm pushing the line on niggas who not necessarily deserve a line being pushed on them.
Yeah.
And instead of the niggas around me that know him better than me, protecting him and like stopping it, they done participated and followed me tripping on it.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
Yeah.
it's like, and then, you know, in different sections, you might have something similar happen, or you might have a different structure based on who overseeing, who got input, and then you might have some of all the elements play out the same at different times in different sections based on who on the street or who's no longer alive. It used to be like this, and now it's like this because now he around and he don't really go for it like that, and ain't nobody really trying to holler at him. So now niggas don't shit change. So
Yeah.
being a white boy, I don't really have no white boys that I didn't really bang with on the street, but I can tell you this: in prison, I'm from East Coast, so if you're familiar with the California prison system at all, uh, traditionally and historically, any prison yard you get on, as far as black gang, it's gonna be more East Coasters than any other gang, especially when it comes to Crips. It's just when no matter where you are, you get to when when niggas get to ask you where you from, when you say you from East Coast, they finna tell you, oh, you got a gang of homies up here. So-and-so up here, so-and-so up here. It's
In
just,
Cali?
yeah, California. East Coast,
Damn.
it's not East Coast in per se, like New York and Jersey and all that.
Yeah.
The East Coast is just it just identifies as being the east side of our section. This is
Okay.
a
Oh,
name
okay,
that
okay,
was
okay.
established far before hip hop was talking about bi-coasters. This,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
so
I'm
we,
about to say, damn, that's a
nah,
shocker,
yeah.
man. See,
Now,
that just goes to show you I don't know too much about the whole the
but,
terms, you
but
know what I
but
mean?
still, your platform, you like you asked me about some Crips from New York, or
Yeah, yeah,
so you would just think when you hear East Coast Crips in general, you would
yeah.
think Crips from the whole. Nah, some of the most original Crips in Los Angeles are called the East Coast Crips. That's
Wow.
my section, yeah.
Okay.
So, and when you get to the yard, like we are traditionally, typically, it's more of us on any yard you get to, no matter where you at. It's gonna be a gang of East Coasters. Niggas know it's gonna be coasters on the yard. So I go to say this. I remember being in my cell, and at the time I had a non-affiliate Shelly, and we was programming cool. Say very few words to each other. At the bottom bunk, he did his thing, I did my thing. He had a lot more time than me. Everything was cool. He didn't smoke no weed, so whatever I brought in the cell, I didn't have to worry about
Oh
time.
shit, you didn't have to share nothing.
Yeah, none of that. So
Ah.
he was cool. I'm out of nowhere. I get a white boy, straight look like Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers type, straight white boy. And we young at the time. It's in the 90s. So he come knock on my door. He like, hey, what up, cuz? I'm a little low down from 1180s Coast, cuz. He was like, I just got to the yard. He said, I just got out the hole. He said, every yard I get on, I keep getting in racial riots because the Woods is trying to press me about being a Crip.
Uh-huh.
So like the program, wherever the head motherfucker in the yard told me, I gotta find a homie that'll let me sell up with him because you know it's race.
Yeah.
But they was gonna make an exception for him for affiliation over race. And like you gotta find a homie that let you go in the cell with him right now, or we're gonna put you in the cell with a Wood because they tired of him going from
Damn.
yard to yard, and the yard keep getting laid down over him with this racial shit. So he told me I gotta do it now. He gonna put me in the cell with a Wood. So this, what I'm saying, I'm giving you this backdrop to let you know, I didn't have no time to go holler at no other homies, no check on it. He's saying it's now or never. He's saying he from the hood. I
Yeah.
had to like make a decision on the spot to look
Yeah.
out for him. And then when they did it because of his situation, they put a lock on our cell. Like the normal process of, hey, I need to get a cell change. It wasn't working. It was like when I used to get at the police about getting him out of my cell, when they go on the computer, they looked, it was like, it's something on here. Y'all can't get moved unless somebody get a job change based on he had all these high risk situations. They put a lock on our cell situation. I couldn't get him up out of there. But anyway, when he got in my cell, the first night I could tell from interviewing him that he wasn't really, he
Oh damn.
must have got put on in a pen, which would have been acceptable if he would have just said that.
Yeah.
But he tried to make it seem like he had a long history that extended to the streets. Long story short, and it took a long process because once I'm telling the homies every day, like, cuz ain't really from the hood, cuz. Like, cuz coming in the building, throwing the hood up wrong. We in the day room playing dominoes. This guy moves around and all that. Everybody respectful. He just coming to the table. Cuss.
Stop playing,
Just
man.
yeah, just extra out shit that ain't nobody else doing. Super active niggas. So
Oh
it's
shit,
it's
man.
kind of like a funny story because the police didn't like him either because it was he was trying so hard to be black.
Yeah.
And they catch him doing so much shit. He starts getting into it. So I used to on a routine basis just randomly ask like, "Cuz y'all can't get him out my cell, please," to the CEOs in the building. And they be like, "Nah, they got your cell locked." And the police told me this. He was like, "You can get it. I'll get him out." He was like, "But you got to handle your business first." And he was like,
You
"You
gotta
ain't got
put in
to
that
worry about
work.
you ain't got to worry about getting no trouble or nothing." I'm like, what?
Huh.
So I remember getting up there doing my shits, and they got him up out the cell. They swatched us out the cell. I had no. That's the only time I remember having any type of like situation in the penitentiary where the COs had to like deal with it, and it wasn't no discipline. But yeah, I got on him. So it's like, oh, but then you have certain type of white boys that come, and then just based on the way they present themselves, they keep it 100. They might say, yeah, I know so and so from the street, but I was over here on this yard, and the homies put me on. I turned the pin. You might be a little niggas gonna test you, but eventually you stand down. You a homie. You going like I say, it's a DVD floating around, some old footage from 1984 where I don't know if you're familiar with, I know you're probably not familiar with the name, Turtle from Santana Block, but he's an old original Crip that the guy who does the Robin Leach voice, Lifestyles Rich and Famous,
Uh-huh.
in 1984, he did a documentary where he was interviewing all these gang members. Like how we do today, you think, people be like, oh, these new age dudes showing guns on camera, y'all, the
They been
OG
doing it.
been doing it. 84, 30, you see Turtle on there holding 2 rifles, talking about naming his enemies, the Pyru hood he don't get along with, on camera saying, I can kill all the little sparks with these. He said 32, I got 32 shots at each of them on camera.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it ain't nothing new. But I say that to say this. They went and also interviewed some Latino gang members. And they was in the youth authorities, not even in the prison. They was in YA. And they interviewed this one essay. And he was standing on the bar, hands on the bars, and the dude he was asking like about the prison gangs, and this shit pressed in my head to this day. He was like, how is it in here with the racists? You can't mix with the racists. And he was like, well, nah, really, we just stick to our own. He was like, especially because the Crips, it's one thing about them. That's the blacks. That's their biggest gang, but they let anybody in their gang. I don't care if they're pressure cases or snitches, and they don't realize it's a liability to them. We know it is to us, and it stuck me way back then because I know how many busters, marks, cowards are actually involved in the activities. I know how many niggas get pressed, and then for them to say that on that DVD in 1984, knowing things have only gotten worse. I saw it like in 2000, early 2000s, and so yeah, a white boy, a blue boy, a green boy, a black boy, anybody could be in. It's about what's gonna happen once you in.
That was a great way to put it, man.
Good luck. Good
That
luck.
was good piece, and I hope that helps a few people out there. And I'm not saying that's a route you should take. I'm just saying
No, but yeah,
that's just useful information for people that.
Especially if you're in that situation right now. Going
Yes.
forward, do not know if you want to take steps forward, back, if you're too deep in to where it's no just jumping out because your scenario is still about, I can't add light to any of that. It's a very familiar case out here, and you can do your research on it because I don't know the dude government name, but he's from 90s, 90 Crip in Los Angeles. He was a white boy from Palos Verdes, rich as fuck, got caught up, I think, on social media, linked up with some niggas from South Central. His daddy was rich, and he was going back and forth to LA, got all the affiliated tattoos. He had all the police the last year or two, gang file pictures. They've been arrested in a local gang headquarters park. I've never heard of this in my life, my nigga. They they go on one. His Benz, this daddy bought him. His homies jump out, do they stuff. They lay something down, jump back in the car, go. Whoop, everybody get cracked. Everybody in jail but him.
Man, I think I heard this shit. Was it on the news and shit?
Yeah, it's that big. It's a big cat. I just can't think of his government name.
Yeah,
it was recently. It was like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that shit, man. I was like, hold on, man. That guy can't be repping that shit for real, man.
But yes, he. But that just.
But he was.
You could click on any YouTube leak affiliated with it and see how much footage they have of how deep he was in it. So
that's crazy, man.
That's answered. That is a very rich in tradition, original Los Angeles gang. It's nothing to play with the neighborhood 90s. So if he was really from 9-0 like that, then that answers your question. I have a 20-year-old daughter, and she has like a 20-year-old friend. She may be 21, 22, 23, as a 2-3-year-old. She's from Thailand. Like, you see her, you would think everything looks distinct.
Yeah.
She just got put on 6-0, like 2 months ago. Only reason I'm speaking on cameras because they camered it, and she posted it on her little shits and all that, showed her little wounds and all that. She's like she weighed about 60 pounds. She just got put on 60s. So
it's crazy. Yeah. Anybody, I guess, huh? Let me ask you this: how the hell did you go to the penitentiary, man? You know what sent you there?
And the first time it was a simple strong arm robbery. Impromptu, being at the hospital, going to my cousin from Southside. That's a Compton CRIPS section from Southside, and he and I was like brothers. I was 18, and we hit a little lick at the hospital.
Okay.
I caught up, strong arm robbery, got out. I did 2 years. They gave me 2 years in the pen.
That ain't too bad.
Not bad. And then got out for 6 months. Got caught, went back for ex-con with firearm. Did 32 months. And that's the extent of my prison stints. So back and forth, in and out of jail here and there through the years since then, up until, I don't really go to jail no more. Thank God. Finally, I hate court buildings. I hate all that shit. I hate the smell, feel, sounds. So I hate the fact that it's blacks and inner city people, period. Latinos and all, but really it's blacks is my personal experience. I hate the fact that we accepted that as so much as a part of our experience when there are people who have never had a traffic ticket. And it's not so much as we accept it willingly, but it's just like so many conditions that have caused us to find ourselves facing this reality. But for it to be such a reality is just, it's crazy, bro.
It is, man.
I can't stand it.
It is.
And then to get to a point where you have to go in there, my case, and then everybody that's talking to you like you ain't shit, telling you what to do is younger than you. Men, that's a whole nother fucking, I don't understand how these old ass niggas sit up there and do it. Going to the county jail, doing these stretches and going to jail. You got these young boys talking to you like you the boy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I got a 26-year-old man that I've been raising since he was 2. And he just passed all the CO tests. So psychologically, it's like me reversing places with him, and now he telling me what to do, and I can't do it.
Yeah. I've been out going on 5 years, man, and I was,
Salute.
20, thank you, man. Hey, and I came out 28. But when I went in the second time, I felt like I'm too old for this shit, man.
Yeah.
And I would look at these cats that are 50, 60, 70, 40, and I'm like, shit, man. I'm not going to be like these dudes, man. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I know they're probably feeling, when you're 50-some years old, sitting in jail, going to prison, you got to say, my life ain't amounted to shit, man. You know what I mean?
It has to hurt. It has to hurt.
It has to, man.
But the beauty of this too? I have witnessed multiple motherfuckers who had life and who had 20-year plus sentences come home, and they out here happy, healthy, living. And it's like, for the time when they first received this time, or when I first became aware of the situation, I never imagined this day. They seemed like how you just described, over with. That's how I remembered them in the past. That's how I kind of expected them always to exist in my life. And now they're out here functioning, and it's a few of them. Like, it's like, and that's a beautiful thing to see, because that 20 plus sentence sounds like a lifetime, and it sounds like a never to be realized. And so many people that find themselves in those positions, and they give up mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and by the time they come out, bounce back out, there's nothing really left on the inside for them to even enjoy what they got out here. But exactly, I got a couple of partners right now. One of them who did 30, and a couple of them that did 20 plus, and they out here living. And it's like, shit, it ain't got to be over with, man. People are living longer.
I've interviewed someone that did 38 years straight, man, in Cali prisons, and I was thinking to myself, man, he just came out not too long ago, and to be in lockdown for that long and then come out and have to deal with all this shit going on right now. He's on, everyone's locking down their houses and shit. Like, I couldn't even imagine doing that much time and then having to come back. But at the same time...
No, that won't even be comparable, bro. Because just think about the refrigerator.
Hey, that's what I was about to say. You got your fridge, you got your old lady, and I mean, that's all you need, a TV. Yeah. But at the same time, he's used to it, he's ready, but I don't know. He's a biker, so he probably like to get out and drive,
he's probably like how other people, it's probably more of a, all right, take it on the chin for him than the average person.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling shit. I'm all right with this shit.
Right, me too. Especially when I see when you eating how you eating, it's really it's nothing. It's like, you know what I'm saying? and you know what? It's so much of the way of the world to have everything come to you now. It's not much of a shock for the public as it would have been 20 years ago.
Yeah,
this would have been a far more of a inconvenience had it been 20 years ago, bro.
Yeah, I believe so too, man. All this social media and stuff like that and deliveries online, it helps a lot, man.
Yeah, and then the kids with the video game, it's like, they not putting your hair out like they would be 20 years ago. Or if you didn't have all this, they got us plugged in, bro. We laugh at this shit, but they got us, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. I hate to see. I remember I had a guest on one time. I'm over here talking about all these past guests, but a guest. I said to him, I said, man, how you think things are gonna end? He said, EMP, electronic mass scrambler. I said, so what? No electricity or power? He said, yeah. I said, shit, that might be. If it were to happen, I'm like, man, we'd be all messed up.
I've been foreseeing and foreshadowing and telling and chopping it up and thinking about the fact that, EBT proved a lot. When they made the food stamp disappear, I say, okay, I see what they can do.
It's a new age now, my friend.
What if they declared $1 nothing, and then they give you an 18-month grace period of getting your shit deposited somewhere, and on these days, these motherfuckers not gonna be redeemable.
Yeah.
They got full control of everything monetarily after that point, because they can spend out anything immediately. And then it's like, no matter what they tell you, what conditions they place upon you, they can tell you, unless you comply, you're not going to be able to access your funds. It's going to be deep, bro.
Yeah, it can get very deep, my friend. I know you're awake. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen the cartoon, the show WALL-E, the movie?
WALL-E?
Yeah, it's like it's like an animated thing about this little robot called WALL-E. Treat yourself to that.
I'm gonna look it up. I might have, man. It sounds familiar.
When you see it, you might be like, oh yeah. But when you saw it, the depth of it is gonna hit you when you see it. But I saw it so long ago, and I was like, And ever since the last 4 or 5 years, it's been making me think of that movie. And I went and watched it again recently, and it's like, oh, bro. It was just like it's a cartoon for kids, but it was just like it was exaggerating and showing how we're going to a place where you wake up when you wake up in the morning, instead of alarm clock making noise, it's gonna be like a hand, like wake you up, and then right there, tray gonna pop out, brush your teeth. You gonna be just you sit up, turn, conveyor belt right there, your slippers come heated, get up, breakfast come, and then when it's time to walk out your house for work, when you walk out your door, it's gonna be a seat just, and then when you look, the whole city is just operating, the whole world. It was like a whole. You got to see it, bro. It's like how
What was it? What was it called again? Wallow?
Wally,
Wally.
WHLLE. Yeah.
Wally. Okay, I'm gonna check that out, man. I think I might have seen it, but the name just ain't clicking. Sounds like some Jefferson's shit, you know.
Also, if you go to my YouTube channel, Spider Loc Most Easty, I'm a longshoreman and down at the ports.
Oh damn, that's a decent job, man.
Yeah, somebody come from where we know, So
Yeah.
they have fully automated yards. I got a clip of an automated yard up on my channel, bro, to where you can just see like a whole port yard with the diesels. It's just like all flatbeds, just tires and a flatbed. No cab, no steering wheel, nowhere, no person in sight, and they
all AI.
going up under cranes, getting containers, and they're just moving and stopping, making perfect. Then they're parking perfect.
It's amazing, ain't it?
It'll blow your mind, bro. Yeah.
It's amazing shit. I'll tell you what's amazing is this thing. How the hell cell phone?
Oh yeah,
These things blow my damn mind, dude. You know?
And then what about everything that you typically are tapped into on your phone? You can run through it all notifications, put it down, and the next thing you pick that motherfucker right back up and run through
Crazy,
it.
man. It's crazy, man. You know? And that's why I tell people you gotta be careful what the hell you do.
Yeah.
Say. And say, you know?
Yeah, because the phone don't have to be on. You don't have to do nothing. I've tested it. You can say something you just only thought about, and you ain't said it out loud. That shit's to pop up on your phone.
Yeah, for sure, man. And it still blows my mind that the cats are actually doing stuff from the pen on that shit, man. You know, they got cell phone blockers and trackers and all this shit. Yeah. Like, if I wouldn't say shit, I'd be trying to figure out how to send pigeons.
Bro, you know? My homie been down like 20 years in a California prison system, and like last year, bro, the feds came and took him to jail from his cell, and he got like a son in his 20s that was like a toddler when he went to prison, and took him to jail on the streets. Froze his wife on the street accounts, all that based on his phone and there.
Yeah, and you know, people just think that shit ain't gonna happen to him, man. But
not so comfortable. He was doing he had a reputation for really having it like a nigga on the street. Everybody knew like he was overdoing it. Like he was eventually when it's all said and done, he'll probably be hollering at me trying to see how we could do something with the movie because he had it. He was doing it like one of them. It's like from in there. Yeah.
Let me ask you. I asked this to everybody, and I told you I was going to ask you this too. How did the Crip and Bloods function in California prisons, man? I mean, I know you were in there back in the day. I mean,
it's crap. But my brother, Big Spider, shout out to Big Spider, Little Spider, and Tiny Spider. It's 4 spiders for my set. They all went stretches. Big Spider, Little Spider, they both got life. They coming home though. And then Tiny Spider, he got 17. And it's funny you say that because typically, politics, it can go either way. Typically, got to occupy the same environment and it's race first.
Exactly.
But my brother, he had Centinela. And if you're in California, familiar with the California system, y'all know what Centinela is. It's just kind of funny. Sent me a text the other day. Just went up in the dorm, in the building between the Crips and the Bloods. It was something about the phone. I think it was like 12 Damus in the day room. 6 Crips, phone issue. I think the 12 Damus got on the 6 Crips. But
I
then,
mean, do y'all have your own phones, or is it just the black card gets the phones?
yeah, black car get the phone. Black car
Okay.
get the phone. Usually would share it with the well, now understanding that it might be different now, but in the past, the northern Mexicans and the southern Mexicans didn't get along. So we would share our phone with the northern Mexicans, and like uh, the Samoans, the Asians. Then it'd be the Woods and the southern Mexicans. That's share a phone. So
Mm-hmm.
and then Crip and Blood didn't. Yeah, it's just black phones.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was. Somebody supposed to get off some time. It was a time issue. But whenever it went down, the Bloods had the numbers on the initial play. And then as soon as the doors cracked though, they say the homies got off and they had the numbers. But you asked me that, and just as recently, even though I know everywhere, niggas is functioning. You got next door neighbor that's a dot move. That's on every yard. Niggas is functioning. But you never know, because just this week I got a text. I know it just popped off up at Centinela.
Yeah.
Just based
So
on Crip and
so it
Blood.
just depends, man.
Because
Right?
the phone issue typically seems like that's two dudes, right? But it turned into a gangbang issue over it. It was the line was not. It wasn't like all Bloods from the same gang and these Crips all from the same gang. It was you get into it with the homie. It's Crip is the last name. As long as it's not no immediate nothing between me and you right now, it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to roll when it comes to gang politics in prison.
Yeah.
You're a Crip. I ain't. Unless y'all chose to like go and get down on some man shit, you ain't supposed to watch no down move flight, no Crip
Yeah.
on site. And it's not, it don't go like that.
Yeah. 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 Uh all right. So that explains a little bit. Just but when it comes down to hey, it's a full-fledged race riot. Uh y'all are going to pretty much run together for the most part, you think?
Oh yeah, that's the way it go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Period.
Okay.
And that's the spirit. It's like almost the spirit of Alexander the Great. Uh, you say they went and conquered the world as soldiers, and then when they had nobody else to fight, they turned their swords on each other. A segregated essays too deep to deal with. Back to black on black. That's whack on some real shit. It is what it is, though. That's how it go. When it's with them, we'll piece it up, and then it seems like as soon as that element is missing, motherfuckers don't know how to stay cool.
what you said, it's just human nature. I think us as people,
Right,
when there ain't something wrong, we find something to make wrong, and we like drama. People thrive, and prison. You're
right,
bored, man. So drama
right,
can be
right,
fun too. Just
right,
politicking can kill time like hell. So
right. It's the nature of the whole shit. Yeah, right, exactly.
yeah, if you can't win, then run or leave and then start shit with some other people. That's how it goes, or your own people for the most part.
Right. But it would,
But
you would imagine though, because we're already in prison, that we could probably figure out how to make this everything go smooth now. It don't get no worse than this, but you will find every element of disagreeing and that you will find, yeah, you're right.
yeah, this is
Motherfuckers,
how it goes, man.
I just seen the yard one time. I remember there was a dude on the yard and he was leaving, he was transpacking, and he was waiting on a dirty package. And he came and told me and my cellie, he was like, look, the old man, he getting a package in my name. This is finna be in the package. He was like, I'm leaving it with y'all. The old man, he said the old man don't have no idea. All he supposed to get is the jar of coffee, the Folgers. And he gonna give you the whole package. The whoopty whoopers and the whoppy wop in the package, just like this. So it's probably like a month and a half, 2 months of this dude leaving the penitentiary and us keeping it in our little circle that we waiting on this package. Nobody know. So we going to check the package list. Back then, the ways to do it is you have a package window on the yard.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll put the list up and you go see if your name on the package list, see if your package came. So I remember finally his name was up there. So we go get the old man, go get this package. And so it could take some time, an hour or so out there waiting on the package window to open. So I remember as we noticed, it's a group of Crips that we supervising this situation. I noticed it's a group of Damus that I fuck with, that I know, as like when the old man ain't standing right up under us, he like going over there by them and they like talking to him, whispering to him.
They're both trying to get y'all both trying to get that shit. That old man didn't know what to do, man.
Nah, so I mob over to the Damus. These some niggas I know that I politic with. I'm like, so hey, check this out, man. You supposed to be trying to whoop whoop? They like, yeah, that's us. I'm like, nah, that's whoop. They like, nah, that's us. So I'm trying to tell them, I'm like, so my last word was, look, on my mama, when that leave the window, it's leaving with me. And then they left it like it's leaving with them. So it was time to go dig it up and all that. So I remember as we go dig it up, the homies, it was like enemies. I'm with a nigga from Hoover, the homie Stone from one I know. It was like me and my comrade, but it was niggas that don't even really, because of the interest in this package, we finna do it. We strapped up. I'm knowing they got they whatever too. So, and it just seemed like it was like how it is right now with this virus in the air. It just like one of them days when wasn't nobody on the yard except our group, their group, like two people playing one-on-one basketball, one motherfucker playing handball, and maybe three people walking last. It seemed like the yard was that empty. I know I'm exaggerating, but it just seemed like one of them days when nobody in the yard. So it's getting tense, you know, mumbling, talking to ourselves, pumping yourself up. It's finna go down, my nigga, over this package, bro. And I just remember, like, right next to the package window, the door opened and it sucked the old man in it. They had found to get at him, and he didn't know.
Oh, they yoked him up in there, huh? Oh shit, man.
Yeah, God saved us, man. God saved us, because then the deep part about it, the relationships with them Damus we was cool with went immediately right back to what it was the day before.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. It was
money and packs, man. Make guys do crazy shit.
I felt bad for the old man. They kept asking, when they found it, they asked him like repeatedly 5-6 extra times, are you sure you want to receive this package? He like, yeah, he want his coffee.
The fifth time, I was like, nah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, but that's how gullible and naive he was, bro. You know what he probably was thinking?
That someone would have gotten him if he didn't bring it back.
Or he probably was thinking he gonna get more than he had entitled because old boy was gone. He like, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. That's a good story right there, man. I can picture that 100%.
Yeah, that was cold.
The crazier thing about it is that y'all just went on like nothing even fucking happened.
Yeah, because it was nothing personal. That goes to the point, business. Like you were saying with the politic. You said just because it's bored, or it could be a soup, it could be a stamp. It's gonna be the principle of. That's why the game is so fucked up. It's like niggas don't stand on no principle. It was just like with the snitching. The game was able to have some type of something because your enemy was sworn to some rules that you could trust. Like, it was a point where if you my enemy and I put in some work against y'all and your homie, and your homie was telling on me, I used to be able to come to you as an enemy, show you the paperwork, and you was gonna regulate your homie. That's over with now, bro. That's over. Like, it's a whole new night. I got a cousin on the yard right now, and I go live on my YouTube channel, Sparta Loc Most Easty, on a regular basis. We call it the Wake and Bake Show in the morning. And it's a dude that be shouting out my cousin in Arizona prison all the time. Mm-hmm. But I just find out this dude the other day, he take 4 grams from somebody and then go and roll up and say he can't be on the yard. So you know what,
4 funky grams.
4 funky grams. But he fucked that meth. That's when. So I know that's the underlying. That's his underlying issue. And you know, in prison right now, that shit is like, that's like the new crack. Like, that's the junkies is that meth like that. Yeah. I got a thing. You see, it's a challenge right now. I got up on my page on Instagram, and it's these niggas in the pen, dude. You know, it's this challenge where they doing it. Baby, give me something. Oh,
Oh no, that chicken funny as hell, man.
you see the last nigga, homie?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he did the 360. Hey, the nigga right
Hey,
in
that
front of
shit
him.
was hilarious, man.
And no, I have to take this black eye though.
That dude,
The nigga
that
right in front of him is from East Coast CRIPS,
uh-huh.
LA. That's one of my comrades. That's my homie. But
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that, bro. That
It's
was
still
so
funny
watered.
as hell, man. It's all good harmony, I guess, you know? I mean,
No. Look,
oh no, man.
no. Look, that type of programming. When I was on the yard, the spirit of niggas I be with.
You
No, we
never
watch.
would happen.
No, if I had, now, I'm just saying things must have changed. But back we didn't have no phones in the pen and none of that. So I don't
Yeah.
know what niggas is on that, but it might be meth. I don't know what make a nigga that comfortable to be in the prison, but just doing that wiggle shit. I don't.
Well, this shit was on
First two niggas,
TikTok.
the first two niggas was kind of cool. Like they
Yeah.
just did a little regular, but them last two niggas got too. They was too like.
Yeah, they were in it. They were in the mix, man. They were in the mix. Hey, look, I don't know how people can see that, but maybe if I can figure out to find maybe there's a YouTube video on it I can link
I
in
got it.
the
I
description.
send it to you in your DM. I got it on my IG page.
Yeah, it is hilarious, man.
Yeah,
I was dying
funny,
laughing
bro.
when I saw it. But speaking of Instagram and all that stuff, man, let's jump out to prison. We haven't talked too much about prison. I would like to have you on for another part, man. But go ahead and tell the people a little bit of what you got going on, man. I mean, the rap game. I mean, are you still doing all the rap stuff and all that?
Yeah, I mean, like I have a habit. Like music is a habit. Like it's a passion. It's like
Yeah, it's like way of life.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always going to be done. My most latest music effort was the LOC EP. That became available on all digital platforms January 18, 2020. Prior to that, we released Politicking, the EP, available on all digital platforms. Illiterate, the EP, available on all digital platforms. The Lost Tapes, the EP, available everywhere. And the Wake and Bake soundtrack. The Wake and Bake soundtrack came about because I developed a Wake and Bake show on YouTube. My channel is Spotterloc Most Easty, YouTube/SpotterlocMostEasty.com. Please subscribe, like that, hit the notification button.
Yeah,
I'll go
subscribe
live
today,
there.
my friend.
Good looking, big homie.
Yep,
I'm saying it to the listeners too right now, but that's the focus as far as social media is you building the YouTube channel right now and the brand. Baymac is my brand. Be about your money at all costs. That's what the M initially stand for. And that in remembrance to the Keyway Christ neighborhood near Hustle, the M is also interchangeable for Marathon. At the same time, as is interchangeable for Marathon. We like to use the M for any positive M. Prior to him passing, I was already struggling with the lack of substance in the be about your money at all costs as just an overall way to represent my whole movement. And I was already toying with other ways we can use the M for other than money. But since he passed, it kind of gave me a place to rest with it that everybody can understand. That takes it a little bit more because we know money is in a lot of ways used to divide. And a lot of people can be corrupted when they take the phrase "be about your money at all costs" the wrong way.
Yeah.
The spirit of me saying "be about your money at all costs" was always in the sense that I felt like we're living in an aquarium type situation, or something that we can relate to on this channel. You can relate to in a building, in a yard, to the sense that that's a controlled environment. Aquarium more so because if a motherfucker don't dump something on top of them in that aquarium for the fish to eat, there's nothing for them. They're done. Yeah. And I look at money as the flakes. And we in this aquarium, if you don't go taste them flakes, your belly gonna hurt. You're gonna be belly
tasty
up.
Flakes, boy.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. I like that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna keep all his stuff pinned in the comment section description of the video for y'all to follow him. Man, I like how your channel's set up, man. How you got the TV and the neon lights. I mean, you see my lights, you know. I like it, man. It's very. I like the, kind of the clubbish look when I'm watching YouTube
Appreciate
videos.
it.
It's very relaxed and chill, man,
I
so
want to shout out, especially at the same, use this moment to shout out to the homie that even put us together, Ryan, Hip Hop Classic Daily. Because to be honest with you, humbly, he birthed me in the shit. I was like using Instagram in like 2017. I decided to start releasing music, just myself on the internet again. And just in my inner circle, Big Trap, Trap LA, that's another platform that I'm affiliated with. Big Trap used to just tell me, like, man, you got to go live, man. You got to go live. Just do your everyday life. Do your everyday life. That's just what they want to see. And to me, that was like some bullshit. Like, man, but I started coaching my boys. So it kind of gave me an indirect way not to be just staring in the camera talking. I would go live and practice what I was coaching. And it happened once before this, but this when it started becoming a reoccurrence. I started realizing that, people want to ask you what they ask you. It might be 11, 12, 13 people watching the live, but they might ask me something about somebody famous that I'm familiar with. And I just candidly answer the question. And then you know where it go. Ryan, he used to go through the lives, see something I said about somebody, and then he'll click it, make a headline. And what I said to 11 people, I look on the internet tomorrow, it'd be like 10,000 people to view, 12,000 people.
You'd be surprised, man.
Yeah. And then he eventually started reaching out to me and motivating me to stop going live on Instagram and
to on YouTube.
Yeah, and then that's how and then from then on, I just started, having ideas, adding to it, and just trying to make it into something without trying too hard.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing, I think, when it comes to becoming a YouTuber, because you want to make it something that lasts, and it's hard to find content that's gonna last and keep people's attention forever. So thankfully, I'm in a good business when it comes to the prison scheme things, man.
You did that, man. You did that.
It helps like, people.
How do I do that without copying? How do I get that type of momentum? Because you just do that? No, you don't just do that. You got to do something, but you can't do that.
You got to give it your own little twist. That's how I look at it. You can't. I mean, the genre. Hey, anyone can do it.
Right.
But it's the person and how you bring it out and all that stuff, I believe, is how you can really get ahead in it. But as far as copying, man, it's just like the rap game. You rap. If the next man raps, he ain't copying. He's just doing it in his own way. So, yeah, man, maybe talk about a little bit of Lock Up maybe or something. A little playlist for that or anything, man. Rap or anything, But, I'm going to be over there. When you drop the video, I got the alert set to all. So, live streams, I'll be in there watching and commenting. And hopefully the viewers from my channel go over there and follow up too, man.
Yeah,
you seem like a really good dude, man.
We keep it a Google over there in the black box. We keep it a Google because if y'all don't know, a Google is a 1 followed by a million zeros. So everybody say they keep it 100, they keep it a stack, keep it a million. We keep it a Google. We are the Google gang. It's facts.
That's what it's called. A Google?
A Google. That's why Google, the search engine, actually a Googleplex is a 1 followed by an infinite amount of zeros. And that's why that's why the search engine was named Google, because it represents the ultimate of infinity.
Infinite amount of information.
Yes. So
wow.
I've taken on as my slogan, instead of keeping it 100, I keep it a Google. So we the Google gang. When you come into the chat room, you see we the Google gang. We keep it facts over feelings. We don't get mad. We don't get mad. We get money. We love life. We be about our marathon at all costs. The Google gang.